The very interesting thing is they recently actually raised like 6 million ringgit.
Hey guys, my name's Chun Weng, and you are tuning into the Crypto Kopitiam, Malaysia's top crypto podcast. Usually, what happens is that I talk to the camera and the camera doesn't talk back. But today, I've got a few friends, including, as per usual, KC, and one friend today who is very, very special. So, KC, who do we have with us today?
Well, Chun Weng, today we have one of my friends that I know for a very, very long time in the crypto space. So this guy, right, he got a very interesting project right now he's doing. So he got a platform called Torum. Torum is a social media. Think of it like it is a combination of Facebook and Twitter, and it is specified for crypto users to use it. So you go onto the platform, you get the latest information, you get the best advices, you get to discuss with the brightest mind in the space. So that's basically what Storm is. And yeah, the very interesting thing is they recently actually raised like 6 million ringgit approximately there from their private funding round. So Jayson, welcome to the Crypto Kopitiam.
Thank you, Kaichun. Thank you for having me here. Yeah, it's a great pleasure to be here.
Welcome. Happy to have you here, and congratulations on the large funding round. It's up to around 6 million ringgit. So it must be really crazy for you because one day you guys are just dreaming about starting something, and then all of a sudden you're raising 6 million ringgit. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your crypto journey. It must have been a crazy ride. So let's start from the top. How did you first discover crypto actually?
I first heard about crypto when, actually realizing crypto was when my best friend, who is also my buddy, we're in university at that time. So my buddy, he come up to me and told me that, there's this thing called crypto and Bitcoin that I think you should notice, that I think you should take note of. And it's going to be super huge and it's going to be the future. So I was like, I have totally zero knowledge about crypto or blockchains, and absolutely newbie, and it kind of convinced me to join the space. And I started out with buying a coin called Neo, and then I began my journey. After that, researching on the Bitcoin white paper, how Satoshi came up with all these hash blockchains and the fundamentals of Bitcoin blockchains, and then I move on to reading the Ethereum white paper.
You might want to explain like what is a white paper to our audience though.
So white paper is a super comprehensive document that details the technical and fundamental specifications of a project. So basically, with reading a white paper, you get a complete idea of a project's model, in terms of business model, what types of purpose that it serves, and its entire technical specifications. So it's going to give you a complete idea of what a project represents.
Actually, you mentioned your first coin was what? Neo.
Neo.
That
yes.
sounds like a degen coin.
No, actually, let me tell you a little bit about Neo. So Neo is actually what we say a Eastern version of Ethereum.
Okay.
Yes. It was once dubbed as the Chinese version of Ethereum. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Big competitor that time. But
yeah, because usually people's first coin is like Bitcoin, Ethereum. Then you're like, whoa, my first coin is Neo.
Yeah, I went full degen that time. So after reading what the Ethereum white paper, it really opens my mind, and I became a huge believer of crypto and blockchains. And since then, I've been wanting to get involved with crypto, not just as a trader or a believer itself, but something. I want to have something that I can take part in this industry. So hence I then proceeded to founded the Torum, our social media projects, back in November 2018. Yes.
Talking about Torum though, like how did the idea come to be?
Okay.
Like how is it that one day you guys are like so into crypto and all of a sudden you're like, oh, you know what, we should make a Facebook for crypto, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's usually like the last thing that somebody would think about, but what inspired you to just go for it?
So before we founded Torum, right, we essentially we are just we are super enthusiastic, passionate, and really hot-headed. We do not have a clear plan of what we wanted to do. So we just keep on iterating, keep on brainstorming, think of any ideas and opportunities that we can serve to the space. So these 10 months is a kind of a brainstorming and each product iterations phase. So after that, we began to, because as we brainstorm, we thought about the problems that the industry is facing itself. There's a lot of problems there. The first one is as we know, there's a lot of crypto scams, happening on Telegram, Twitter, even YouTube as well, really a lot. And so we need a platform, we need a hub to really uh, gather everyone together, and then educate them, and how do we educate them? It's the best way is through the power of community. All right, that's what crypto space is all about.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You leverage on the community of those who have the knowledge, right? You gather them, and then you bring on these newcomers, these new people that are interested in crypto space. You bring them together, and then you let those crypto veterans pass on their knowledge to them, so that they don't fall into all these kind of scams, right? That's just one. We have another two. The second one is we found that projects, crypto projects, startups, we all face difficulties in creating exposure because, I mean, currently, all right, there's no marketing channels that is both uh, efficient, effective, and also done in a very uncostly manner lah. Because as a startup myself, I understand this perfectly, right? Doing some PR or promotions or airdrops and etc. It's just very costly to organize one, and we definitely need projects definitely need a more cost-effective marketing channels to advertise, not just market themselves to market themselves to the industry and also to the community.
Yeah, on
And
that,
also,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
on that, right? I think like we have like a lot of projects they use Telegram, Twitter, but the thing is, as you say, like there's so many scam and stuff. If you're a legit project, you come up with a very good plan of your project and stuff, and then when you try to market it on Telegram and on Twitter or Facebook, people actually group you together with all the scams, and then
Yeah.
yeah, your project couldn't take off in a safe way. I think that's the main problem. So I think you guys in Torum, you guys see this, and
Yes.
it's very good that you guys actually seize the opportunity to provide something like that. But here's my question though. Because like as we know,
Mhm.
social media are unbiased space. Everyone can voice out their own opinion. Everyone can put out their content. Especially for Torum, I think you guys have have a different plan on censorship and stuff. So how do you actually filter all this, what we say, scams out of Torum?
This is a very hard question actually, because to be frank, right? Even Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, they don't have an ultimate solution for this as well. So when it comes to Torum, right, all right, we move back to the essence of what crypto project is, the community. We leverage on the community power once again. So on Torum, right, when it comes to combating all these scams, all right, we provide a reporting features for our communities to report on all these questionable schemes lah, questionable schemes. So when they report, right, and then when the number of reports against a comment or a post reaches a certain amount, all right, we will get notified on the backend, and then we will then be alerted of this, and we take a look at it, and then we will go and research on the sites, whether they are legit or not. Normally, from my experience, right, the scams are normally involved with airdrop scams and also faucet scam lah.
To be
So
fair, right? I mean,
yeah.
it's like any large company that says that they have actually solved the problem, right? That's not true, actually. One thing I noticed is that you just can't stop spams. I mean, even if you look at something as sophisticated as YouTube, right? I mean, YouTube is owned by Google. For those of you guys that don't know, and they have the strongest algorithm. I guess the current algorithm in the system right now, and even with that, they can't actually stop all this spamming and everything like that.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
can imagine
exactly.
like how bad it can be, right? But I guess the advantage that Torum has is that you have a very strong sense of community, and a lot of them are willing to sort of shield each other from those scams. At
Yeah.
least that's what I see from my usage of the platform as well.
That's one of our biggest advantage here because we launched Torum, or we launched our product, the social media product the beta product back on July 1st, 2020. And then after we launched it, right, we launched it with not more than 1,000 seed users, I believe. And we took the time, to do product iterations and also build the culture and value that we want for our community, for these social media platforms. It's essentially we stress on a few points, we stress on genuinity, all right, and then we stress on no scams. We should be community should be helpful, should be passionate to crypto, help each other, lift each other up, not deteriorating. I mean, there's crypto at times, right? Cryptocurrency, the community can be very, I would say,
Negative.
negative, in a lot of way lah. Not just you see that not just on Facebook, on Twitter as well, and Reddit, Telegram. I mean, so we wanted to create a very positive lah, like a mutually beneficial community where you come onto the platforms. All right, you receive and you get at the same time. You receive and get the same type of value at the same time. Yeah. So we build it one by one lah, involving the team itself. So since Torum was launched and the product was launched, every team Torum will get involved in the platforms. We interact, on the platforms, and we get in touch with our community. There's absolutely zero communication barrier there because you can find us on the platforms anytime you want. So it's kind of like, so by having the team right, by having the team building this community, it kind of creates a sense of a very strong sense of community and belongingness in the platform. So I think that that's something the other projects do not do. So there's always that leads to a problem lah. And I think that we did a very good choice here.
Yeah. I believe that as well. I think community itself is the super important thing for everyone. I think for everyone here, I think this is the third episode, so you guys know that I help in a lot of communities. I think we took a very deep dive into how Torum works and your ideology and stuff. But I want to go back a little bit on your startups. So I want to ask, like, what is the challenges you guys face being a crypto startup in Malaysia? I think a lot of people they don't know this, but Malaysian crypto ecosystem is actually really strong. We have a lot of projects that is born here. We have a lot of talents that we actually exported. So, so for everyone who don't know, CoinGecko, Etherscan, they are both Malaysian. Etherscan team, they built BSC scan. So basically all the EVM, Ethereum light chain, the Explorer is basically built by Malaysian. So you might be, if you are in crypto, you might be using Malaysian product without knowing. So Jayson, back to the question. What are the challenges as a crypto startup here?
So for the challenges, right, I have three main challenges as a crypto startup. The first one is funding. All right, it's the most important thing as a startup. Funding. I mean, without funds, you absolutely cannot survive. Let alone that you wanted to scale. We have no funds when we started Torum, founded the project. So every co-founder, right, we took our life savings, to really sustain ourselves, just to sustain ourselves. And then after the startup was founded, we began to look for investors, seed investors. Our seed investors took us at least 11 months to find. And we managed to get like only 333k USD. It's not much actually. It's
I think when people hear like, oh, 330k US dollar, what do you mean by it's not much? In terms of startup like culture and everything like that, 330k US dollar in order to start such a fast growing startup, right? It's actually really not enough actually.
yeah. It's actually very. I would say it's in Torum's case, right? It's actually quite desperate. 320k. It's actually nothing. When you wanted to scale, when you wanted to develop your product, you have to find developers to build it right. So finding developers is another big issue in Malaysia. We have a very serious issue of our talents, moving to other countries for seeking for better prospects. They go to our neighbors, Singapore, and we with the amount of funding that we have at the very beginning, alright, it's tough for Torum to get the talents that we need, because we need someone who can, because we're a social media product, right? So we have to have a very good CSS, UI UX, someone who has that kind of sense in UI UX, because without a good UI UX, your product essentially no one will be using it, right? So it's very tough. And
UI UX. UI is like the user interface. UX is the user experience, right? Just to
yes, the UI UX, the designs. It's basically the yes.
Okay.
So it's tough because at the very beginning, this 320k, right, is accumulated over a period of 18 months. So when we wanted, at the very beginning, right, when we wanted to build the product and scale it, it's really difficult, because if you want to scale, right, you put yourself in a very difficult positions. You just can't do it. Our hands are tied, and when our product was launched, right, we cannot do any marketing at all, because there's just absolutely no space for marketing to be done, and yeah, it's very difficult. And I think that that is something the Malaysia crypto startup has to really understand before starting. I mean, I think that Torum, we got lucky. We got really lucky because we have one advantage here. Our CEO and founder, all right, is Go Ethan. So he managed a crypto YouTube channel. So he has his own follower on the internet. All right. So we managed to find our most of our seed investors from his follower, from his fans, among his fans. So, but unfortunately, I don't think that this advantage is something that other startups has. So they will need to find other ways to get that fund. And the third one is the legal framework. So back in 2018, right, there's absolutely no legal framework for crypto and blockchain. So it creates a strong fear, a strong FUD, which stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the local ecosystem. Because when there's no framework, right, people, and I believe at that time the SEC decided to regulate the digital asset exchange, right? And there's around was there 56? There's quite a number of digital asset exchanges back in Malaysia on that time. But when the SEC, when the government decided to regulate it, right, immediately all exchanges got cut off. There's a certain name, Pink X, and I don't know, Luno as well. Luno, they cannot operate as well. So at that time it was very difficult, and we are also very scared of we are also very scared of getting any actions from the authority from just founding Torum itself. But luckily the government is very open-minded. They have been very they have been very paying attentive to the local players and what we essentially need. So I think they have already opened up the applications for digital asset exchange. So which is why today we can see we have 3 digital asset exchanges in Malaysia. Now we have Luno, we have Synergy, we have tokenized from Singapore as well. Yeah, so it's actually great, and they even allow crypto startups to conduct IEO.
What's an IEO?
Oh, IEO stands for initial exchange offering. So think of IEO as a way for startups to raise money by issuing tokens, by issuing crypto on a digital asset exchange. So the idea is that because startup has to do the crowdfunding on digital asset exchange, right? So they have to collaborate with the digital exchange itself. So by having that, digital asset exchange actually has a responsibility to ensure that the project that do the crowdfunding on its platform will not be a scam. It's going to be projects with the right team, with something that is viable, not just any kind of a shade, not some kind of shady thing.
Kind of like the Securities Commission job of making sure that whatever it is that gets listed on Bursa in Malaysia is legit and it's not like
Yes.
a scam company. Yeah.
Yes, actually,
Yeah.
yes, exactly, yes.
All right. So, I mean, we've heard a lot about the challenges in Malaysia already, right? So let's talk a little bit about the Malaysian ecosystem. Actually, I don't know why, but a lot of people think that Malaysians are not very in when it comes to crypto. But I think people don't realize that we are currently, I think, the 5th largest country by hash rate. Hash rate is basically in terms of mining, mining capability. I would say we are the 5th largest in the whole world, and people don't realize that. And we have things like CoinGecko and Etherscan, which are like very used, very used softwares, right? In the crypto tracking community and everything like that. So, have you interacted with all these, other crypto startups in Malaysia and everything like that? And is the community tight knit? And do you guys share ideas together and everything like that? Yeah.
Yes, of course. In fact, the local crypto ecosystem is actually quite small. So we know each other. We know Corbett Lau from Access Malaysia, and also Celebrus Advisory. We know Aaron Ting, who is a very strong Bitcoin and crypto advocate. We also know CoinGecko, and also the Scan founder as well, Matthew. Actually met him in the meetup. I believe it was an event by Luno when they received the permissions from the SEC to reopen the exchange. All right, they organized a Luno relaunch event, and I met Matthew over there. And yeah, guy is super cool, and yeah, it's just so learn a lot. Had a lot of advice from him that I use until today. Yeah, so at the end of the day, I do think that there's two main reasons why Malaysian ecosystems are just not bright as in other regions, as in other countries. The first one is our knowledge, our level of understanding about crypto and blockchain is just not there, or it's just not there yet. Leads to a lot of scams who uses crypto and blockchains to organize all these shady schemes, and people get that kind of stigma, from this. When they say crypto and Bitcoin, all right, they will think that, oh, you are trying to sell me a scam. You're trying to promoting a scam to me. So this stigma stays for a very long time, and it's hard to overcome this. The second one is Malaysian projects. All right, Malaysian crypto projects, we generally do not have crypto. I mean, it's a kind of weird way, But most crypto projects in Malaysia, they are essentially a B2B kind of model. They're doing B2B, like Celebrus Advisory. All right, they deal with business, they deal with crypto startups. All right, but I think not many are actually dealing with the user, dealing with the consumer itself. One pops up in my mind, which is the Luxtech. Luxtech is one, where they uses the blockchain technologies to record everything, make everything public, so that we can avoid the risk of counterfeit goods. Right, that's one. But after Luxtech, barely see any projects, that is targeted towards the consumers and also have crypto. So because in crypto space, right, all right, everyone is very focused on the price and profit itself. So when you do not have crypto, right, it's kind of impossible for projects to help them achieve that. And then communities will not take note. So communities are not interested. So it's kind of it's this reason.
It's a dilemma. Yeah,
it's a dilemma. It's a dilemma.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty much the part of the innovation cycle. It usually starts with the technology coming out, and then there's going to be a lot of scams and things like that. And then slowly it goes to B2B first, and then slowly only it moves to B2C. It's really how like the internet was also, I think, like seriously.
Yeah, but I do think that we have a really with CoinGecko and Etherscan, paving the way for Malaysia crypto ecosystem. I think that that's already the perfect testimonial that that Malaysia, we are a strong powerhouse in the crypto sphere. And I think that as time goes on, right, there's going to be more B2C projects coming up,
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
What is your advice for aspiring crypto startups in Malaysia despite all of the challenges? And really, what is the future plan for Torum moving forward?
Advice. Speaking of advice, all right. I
Don't
have five.
Share lah.
Yeah. So I have five advice that I can share here. I think the first one is as startups, all right, as crypto startups, please focus on delivering value, because it's the key thing that's going to keep your projects alive, sustainable, and relevant in the coming years. Because in crypto, right, there's a cycle in crypto. There's the crypto market has a cycle. There's a bull. There's a bear, right? So when you're in a bull, all right, everything just aligns perfectly. Anything that you do, all right, it's positive. The outcome is positive. But in the challenging time is when it comes to the bear. When the bear comes, right, and the bear market comes, all right, how are you going to sustain? The key thing here is you have to keep on delivering value. I can't stress this enough. I mean, back in 2017, when the bear first hits, I think in just 1 year, we are able to see like over 800 projects died. I mean, there's a huge list of all these dead coins that we can see, and looking at all these coins just reminds me on delivering value. It's very important, delivering value. So that's my second advice is, as a startup, for startups, spend the money only when necessary. If it's not a need, don't spend it. Like for example, for Torum, right, the degree of how we manage our expense, right, is super crazy. Ever since we managed to get some funding, right, all right, each co-founder of Torum only takes 1,000 ringgit Malaysia per month so that the project can sustain. So that's how serious we are when we are treating every single penny. Right? For example, if I wanted to do a marketing event, like maybe airdrop, right? Airdrop event. My team members, everyone on that is going to question me is like, what's the outcome of this airdrop, and what's the cost? Does the cost outweighs the benefit, or the other way around? And I have to justify everything perfectly. If not, this thing would not be carried out. And it's exactly this practice that helps Torum survive in our early days when we were almost pushed to the brink of bankruptcy. Yes, so very important. Spend only when necessary. Third thing here is you have to plan for a very long plan for what you are going to do in different phase. Because as someone once said, failing to plan is planning to fail, right? So when you have a plan, you know that in each phases, what are you going to do? What are you going to commit? The marketing, the operational, the manpower. How much manpower are we going to need for this in this phase? So having a clear plan, all right, it's the guiding light that is going to helps you make the right decisions in different phase. Yes, very important.
Yeah, on this, right? I think because of the bull market recently, I think a lot of people they just think like, yeah, everything is good. Let's start a crypto project without really planning. And
Yes.
that is like that is, I would say, this is a really stupid move. I see a lot of projects just started right off without a clear plan, without knowing like what they really want to do. And I'm not going to bet here, but eventually when the real bear market hit it, the crypto winter is here actually. I think the whole project will be very hard to sustain themselves and actually go on with another plan, because yeah, you don't actually get that much funding and you don't actually get that good of environment when the crypto winter is here.
Yes, a lot of projects just because in the crypto space, right? There's a lot of open source code. So when project A managed to succeed, all right, project B just go to the GitHub lab and then take the source code from project A, take it, copy it, build it, and rebrand it with another name. I'm not going to mention the name, but I think I think everyone has the experience of that already. All right, so just take and rebrand. I think that's a very toxic cycle, because when there's no innovation, right? When there's no innovation, when you can't create value, and you're just prone to fail and dragging everyone down with you. So I don't know. I absolutely disagree with this kind of method, and I do not want Torum to be one. So we are playing on every phase, trying to creating value at whatever decision we make. All right, we always ask ourselves: does this feature benefits the user, or they benefit the projects? I mean, it has to benefit the industry. If not, then we're wasting our time. Scrap it, delete it, remove it from our mind. Okay, yes. And the first,
So-
and then
Sorry. So what's your hope for Torum in the coming year, now that the crypto winter is coming and everything like that? You did mention that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So what is Torum's next step?
Okay, cool. So we are essentially so for the crypto winter, right? For the crypto winter, we are saving a provisions of that can help us last for at least 18 months whenever such thing happen. So we are quite prepared because the provision is there already. So whenever the bear hit, all right, we are not faced or affected by the market volatility. And we also occasionally we do a little bit of hedging and then take some profit whenever needed. But the profit on everything, right, we take it to cope up with the operational costs, because currently we are in a scaling phase. So we are doing mass hiring, expanding our technical talents, especially on that. So sometimes we need some profits to get them involved. So in terms of preparation for crypto winters, I don't think that Torum is fully prepared for it. And so if it comes, then let's come. We are fully ready for it. Yes. So
Not your
that's
first crypto winter, right?
second already, because I joined the space in 2017. Yeah, it's crazy, the crypto winter when it hits, right? My portfolio can shrink from I think 27,000 and until close to 2,000 at the bottom.
I think KC was kind of in the similar situation with you as well back then.
That's how we know each other.
Finding friends at the bottom. Yeah.
When you share your pain, that's the best way to make friends.
It's like
Yeah.
when you go to the rooftop, right, and then you see this guy also there sitting at the edge, and well, okay,
Hello.
maybe
Smoking,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, Jason. So
So the hope lah, and you mentioned about the future plans for Torum, right? And yeah, so for on Torum right now, all right, we are focusing a lot on the community side, the user side, and yeah, as I said, now we are going to uh, another growing phase, and in this new growing phase, we're going to focusing on building Torum as a brand new marketing channel for projects to get on board the crypto space. So in this phase, right, we're going to be building a lot of marketing specific features for projects. For example, we're going to build a special airdrop section for projects, for only legit projects to do airdrop on Torum. So it's actually benefits. Uh, it actually creates a scenario where everyone gets value. In this airdrop section, like projects come on here, they conduct airdrop, they organize airdrop. All right. So what do they get? First one, they get access to almost 60,000 pure cryptocurrency users, enthusiasts on the platform. Because Torum, we are a social media platform that is specially designed for cryptocurrency users. The platform is built for cryptocurrency users. So this ensures that most of our user base, they are either someone who has been involved with crypto for some time, or someone new, but still they are interested in crypto. So by airdropping their tokens, projects airdropping their tokens to the community, our community, all right, it actually instantly provide them 60,000 new users, potential new users of exposure to their projects. And then the community, our user, they get the they get their token rewards. They are happy, and then from Torrent side, we can also get projects involved and build a more long-term relationship with them. And projects might also onboard their community onto Torrent, right? So it's a super strong growth tactics
It's a
marketing for
cycle.
the approach.
It's definitely a
Yes, it's a
cycle.
Yes, exactly. So I do think that Torum is going from in this phase. Torum is going to be the ultimate bridge that is formed between cryptocurrency communities and projects. So when communities they want to get informations and news about the projects, all right, they come to crypto. They come to Torum, and then when projects, all right, they wanted to get access to get connected to the cryptocurrency users, the community side, they come to Torum. So we're a bridge for that, and that's just the second phase lah, second growth phase. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we wanted Torum to be we want to build Torum as the largest crypto ecosystem that is able to connect the the general mass to the crypto space. That's the ultimate vision. But before that, all right, before that we focusing on the industry itself first. Once we are able to get the entire industry on board to Torum, on board this ecosystem, all right, we can then think further. Yes.
They're so ambitious though. And
Yes.
we admire their ambition. And as a fellow Malaysian, I'm actually very proud to know that, Malaysian company is striving so hard to make something so, something so ambitious possible. And I really wish Torum the best. And before we wrap this podcast up, we do want to ask you a little bit about your opinion on the Malaysian ecosystem. So a few questions that we have. Usually we have this non-financial advice section.
Okay.
So the top app for Malaysians to buy crypto right now is actually Luno Malaysia. And as per usual, we would ask you like, what would your top 3 coins for Luno Malaysia be?
Okay. Top 3 coins. First one is easy. Definitely Bitcoin, king of everything. Second one is Ethereum. The place where innovation begins. Third one is I would say Litecoin. The digital the silver version of Bitcoin. Yes, the three of them. Yes.
Well, that is.
Okay.
I think a lot of people also choose Litecoin out of that five. I think we can see. Although I think most masses don't actually know what is Litecoin or actually pay attention to it. I think a lot of people in the space actually like it. They choose it. Which means I think this is the third time we hear Litecoin, right?
Yeah, this is actually the third time that we got Litecoin. So usually it's the most standard thing where we go like Bitcoin, Ethereum,
Ethereum.
Litecoin. In the crypto community, is always like that. But outside of the crypto community, we're more
different.
likely to see Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP.
Yes.
So far, at least that's what we can see so far. But okay, let's wrap this podcast up. Yeah, usually we want to make sure that our viewers are learning something, and at the end of every single podcast, we try to get our guests to explain a complex concept to the viewers. So for today's complex concept, that would be NFT. Can you tell us a little bit about what NFT is and act like I'm 5 years old and try to explain that to me? You don't have to make it weird and actually think that I'm five, but it's the simplest way that you can explain that actually. Yeah.
Okay, cool. NFT is a very complex subject, very super sophisticated topic. And I mean, for me, right, if I were to explain NFT to a 5-year-old, so I would say that NFT is something, it's like a unique set of digital coins that can represent any possible asset that we are seeing, that we are having in real life. It can be a keyboard, I mean, it can be either a tangible asset like a Pokemon card, or or a piece of Picasso artwork, physically, they assets that have physical appearance. It can even be an intangible asset. I mean, like the patent of maybe COVID-19 vaccine. That's possible as well. Then it can also represent a domain name. I mean, the potential here with NFT is just endless, because there's a lot of things that we can tinker around with it. I mean, you can see that recently the NBA, they launched the NBA Top Shot kind of thing, NFT.
I'm a big fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even gaming companies, right? Gaming companies are funding their ways onto NFT, and we're seeing the rise of crypto game like Axie Infinity, for example. There's a lot of, and they involve NFT in their projects, and it's just, I mean, the integration in the utility of using NFT is just so big until we are barely scratching the surface of NFT, how we are going to use it. We're at the very, very, very beginning. So I do think, all right, as time goes on, right, the definition that I provide here is going to change. Yeah, I think that's all for my NFT explanations. Not sure if you guys agree with me.
Actually, I kind of agree. NFT is a constant changing thing going further. I think back in 2017, it is just simple that NFT we use for crypto kitties and stuff.
Yeah.
But now they're used for so many kind of things. It even have artworks and stuff. So yeah, I think NFT would be a very broad thing to cover
I
a
think
lot of
it's going to
stuff.
be way cooler in the future, because right now, right, I think the way that I see NFTs is kind of like owning something very rare as of right now. So say, for example, you earn like a Picasso painting or whatever, right? But right now, the problem with NFT is that you can't really showcase it to the world yet, right? Like in traditional NFT, in the traditional artwork kind of market, right? You can put it in a museum or something like that. So in the future, right, I think there's going to be like a virtual museum kind of thing where like the wealthier people will actually sort of put it there. And I think so I'm getting a bit nerdy here, but I feel like the AR technology and VR technology, right, you can actually like, go touch I don't know, right?
Yes.
And I think that NFT can really get to that level. So I'm very excited for NFT.
The VR. Speaking of VR, I think that this idea is going to be eventually materialized in the crypto VR projects like decentralized, somewhere where people can showcase their NFT. I mean, the showcasing NFT thing, right? It can also be done through Torum, a social media platform. We actually have plans to do that as well. I mean, I think my myself gave a little walkthrough onto our idea of how we integrate NFT to our social media platform. So we are good. So aside from having a social media platform, right, we are also building and connecting a NFT marketplace to ours to the platform. So what's the entire value and utility of this? So when crypto artists, right, in other marketplace, when they create NFT, all right, when they successfully mint it, they find it they are going to find it very difficult to market their virtual artworks, because like I said, the NFT is we're very in the very first phase of NFT, and essentially like the competition is going to be difficult, and it's not like everyone can sell their artworks like what Beeple is doing, right? The Beeple, I think the Beeple artwork was sold for
$69 million US.
69 million. Yeah. 69 million. I mean, not every artist can do that. So they need a place for them to market their NFT. And by having an NFT marketplace that is connected to a social media platform, right? So once the NFT artists they mint their tokens, they can immediately bring it to Torum and then start promoting them, showcasing them in their Torum account profile. So this essentially creates a brand new channel, brand new way for NFT artists to build exposure to their artwork and to their artwork. And this is something that I have not yet seen in the market right now. I'm not seeing the market. Our NFT marketplace is coming in H2. I think maybe around at the end of July. I think by the end of July we can launch it. I mean, it's going to be really crazy, because after we launch it, right, it's essentially the first social infused NFT marketplace in the industry.
I'm crazy though. That's almost like launching Facebook photos or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I'm very super excited for it. Super excited for it. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I am super excited for you, and thank you so much, Jayson Tan, the CMO or Chief Marketing Officer of Torum, for joining the Crypto Kopitiam.
Yeah, thanks for joining, Jayson.
Yes, thank you for inviting me here. Yeah. It's a very super cool session. Having this chat session with you guys. Thank you. Yes.
No problem. I know you've talked a lot about Torum already today, but I mean, usually what we do is that we have sort of like a 10 to 20-second space at the end of every single podcast for you to pitch whatever it is that you want to pitch. Tell us what's going on in your life, and just pitch whatever it is that you want to do. And the floor is yours, Jayson.
Okay, cool. So please, I hope that Malaysian crypto communities, come and take a look at Torum, because we are essentially one of the first few projects that actually made it into the international scene. And Torum really, I think that Torum is going to be one of the space that will be representing the Malaysian crypto ecosystem in the coming years. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inspiring all Malaysians. And I do hope that this podcast will inspire a lot more Malaysians to start their crypto startups as well.